Hey guys, back here in the shop, messing with this transmission, the 4L60E out of my two-door Tahoe, and just gonna show y'all some of the tools I'm using. I have absolutely, this is my first 4L60E to ever mess with. I rebuilt a 4L80E a while back to put my Silverado, which I have not. Um, I haven't. I'm nowhere near installing it right now. I got to fix this Tahoe for one. Uh, I'm going to show y'all some of the tools, specialty tools that I'm kind of needing. All I'm doing is swapping parts uh, from one from the 4L60E that was in my Tahoe. Uh, the rear of the case broke, and it was pretty freshly rebuilt. I'm swapping the parts out of that and putting them into. I found a new case. So I'm taking all the parts out of it and swapping in the newer parts of the Tahoe transmission. I did find the low reverse clutches out of the newly rebuilt transmission were somehow they got water or something, whether on the rack or whether they were the old clutches that were put back in. Either way, they were crumbling. They looked old, so I got some new Raybestos clutches for that. But I'm going to show you some of the tools I'm using and a little trick I think I came up with. I don't know, it's probably tons of people probably know about it. So here's all the old shit out of the good case. Here's a bunch of the parts out of the rebuilt one. Here is the new case. Here is the old one and how it got broke. These are basically all the tools. I bought these two snap ring pliers just because whenever I was looking on Amazon, and I might have bought them one off eBay, I can't remember. I wanted a couple different sizes. Turns out I probably could have just got one for sure. And then those could not get to I think it's the very bottom. I think it's the low reverse. I can't even remember. It's the very last snap ring and little spring. Can't even think of what that's called. Like I said, I'm new to all this. But it would not get those two. You can see how this little gap right here, right there, in between where the snap ring snaps down and this, I can't think of what the heck's that's called. Anyway, it won't. Those are way too thick. The needle nose part of the snap ring pliers. I was just gonna grind one down, and then I thought I'd look. I ended up buying these, which I modified. You can see they were the full. You can see how I cut that notch out to make it thinner. I'll include a picture of how it was originally. But also, I thought this would compress that bottom spring pack thing. This turned out to be too small, so I found this is the one I needed. And I'll include pictures of the part numbers and stuff. I went ahead and saved this, and it ended up being for whatever the heck this is, to compress. It fits in here because I went ahead and checked all the clutches since I had the bad low reverse clutches, so it compresses that. So that ended up working out. But what I found is that, here, let me show you. Let me get the stuff. So you take this bigger spring compression tool that I found, and it just fits into the lugs. The little wings on it fit into the lugs of the transmission here, so that you can get down and compress that. So you get it, you lock it in with the little wings it has into these lugs here, and then you turn this to compress it. I already did that, but what I did was I left it to where, you see how it's turned right in the center of the light right there is where the edges of that snap ring are. And what I found before I got that tool I modified, if you're in a pinch and you don't have one or you don't want to modify one, I took 2 screwdrivers and what is it, a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter, Craftsman adapter, and used it as like a pivot point, and I was able to snap that ring off there. But I decided to go ahead and get that tool, and it's a whole lot easier with that. But I'll kind of try and show you what if I can. It's gonna be hard to have the light and the camera and everything, but I'll get them down in there and kind of give you an idea. So here, that's the adapter. Those are 2 screwdrivers I used. And put the adapter right in between the opening of that snap ring down in there. And then I take both these screwdrivers and put them on either side, and use that. I take one screwdriver, jammed it in against to hold the snap ring on one side, and then used that adapter to pivot the other screwdriver against the edge, so that you know, it would kind of make it easier to get that snap ring off, to kind of leverage it and get it off. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you me actually doing it, but basically where it was sitting down in there, take the one screwdriver, put it in that little groove, lock it against the snap ring here, then take this screwdriver, come in like this, and then pivot like that so that I could work that snap ring up and over. And that compression tool down in there actually holds, this kind of fits into, you know, where the the little gap between the compression tool and the actual part, so that it doesn't allow it to fall. It kind of holds it in place. I don't know, worked pretty good if you're in a pinch. Also, I thought maybe some transmission guys will watch this. There's a Facebook page I'm on, a 4L60E, a rebuilding page. I kind of posted some pictures. Pretty obvious, I guess, that this is the reverse clutches. That there was some kind of water intrusion, either you know, while it was in the truck after the rebuild, or somehow the clutches got wet before they were installed. But there's like 3 of them that are like this. Let's see. And the color was way darker than the others. And you can see that, how Just a little bit of surface rust. So as you can see, you know, that one, and then one of them, the entire side, the friction material came off. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. I got some new ones, and gonna soak them and start trying to put this thing back together. There's also one other thing. This was the transmission case that broke, that was rebuilt a couple years ago, and this is the one that I just took all the parts out of and just used some degreaser and pressure washed it and cleaned it up. We were kind of wondering, me and my oldest boy was looking at it, this has such an odd color to it. I don't know if that's like some kind of chemical the guy used to clean it. It has that dark coloration, or maybe it just needs to be degreased, and that's probably it. Anyway, overall, this transmission case that was in the original case from the Tahoe just looked like maybe a little lesser quality. So that's what all we got going on with the Tahoe transmission, trying to swap these parts. Later.